waivers or go to Jacksonville or hell, somewhere else. The Saints starting to realize they made a mistake with Tyler Shaw. You don't think they knew that? They didn't care. Shedeur does not deserve to be in any goddamn league for $4 million for 4 years. He's too damn good, and if they don't appreciate him, then his talent needs to be elsewhere until they do. But as long as black quarterbacks are knocking at the door and becoming the majority of the starters, and white quarterbacks are becoming the minority, you're going to see manipulation, even coming out of college like they did Milroe. If Milroe would have came out of college as is without them manipulating him, trying to make him look like trash, all the while he got damn near the identical, what is it called, QBR. His QBR was so close to Jackson Dart. If you weren't smart enough to go read it for yourself, you would have thought they were wide apart. No, they did that. So Milroe was not the first quarterback to come out of the SEC and be the third black quarterback in the first round. They trashed him in college so he could be outside the first round. Did you hear anybody say Milroe can sneak into the first round? There were mock drafts that had Milroe in the first round. That would be 3 black quarterbacks I'd have to try to hold back from an inherent QB1 position. Shedeur 17, Milroe 18. That's +1 over the majority. So you're not going to hear me sing the song to stay in Cleveland. No, Cleveland is toxic as hell. And they like it that way. And nobody will hold them accountable, not even the fans. Because their first game, every preseason game should be empty. The first game against Cincinnati in Cleveland, empty. Every game they play this year, empty. Until the Cleveland Browns ownership learned, like the Carolina Panthers ownerships, these tickets can go down to 45 cents and we're still not coming. It shouldn't even take for Dylan and Shedeur to get let go. They should have been there already. Deshaun should have been enough. 0-15, and you still showing up? So what the hell are you coming for? To watch somebody be made a mockery of? To watch a black player be humiliated? Is that why you showing up? That might explain. But see, now they starting to feel it because the team want to move out the city and take the name with it. See, some people not happy till shit start happening to them. And that's what's happening in Cleveland. So yeah, maybe they're mad now. I don't care. I want our guy out of there. He better off away from the NFL and away from that $4 million contract until they recognize his value. I watched Major League Baseball today. It was a show, a lot of empty seats. And they still managed to pay one player $700 million fully guaranteed. So for those who are confused about the conversation about Canada, it's a reality. And I'm happy that Canada has already claimed rights to Shedeur. It should make the NFL think twice. They don't care. It's more important to have white quarterbacks start and be the majority than it is for black quarterbacks. So they willing to let 1 or 2 go. If I can successfully bury Milroe and don't nobody complain, and then I can go ahead and make Cam compete and find a way to spin it so I don't let him play enough games that he plays the majority of the season, I have succeeded. But there's one quarterback I can't hide. He too damn good, and he got 3 million fans. They can't hide Shedeur at the end of the depth chart. That's what they was trying to do. Then they start hearing everybody say, he the best one you have. Not who they want to cut. The best quarterback they have. I don't give a damn. If they cut him, that's for Cleveland. That's their fight. I just want my guy out of that toxic environment. And I know our voices are loud because Shedeur showed love to his internet aunties, which means he hear us. I don't give a shit what Cleveland do. Long as Shedeur is somewhere where he's appreciated, respected, and they know talent and they want to win. Some people say that Philadelphia was going to try and get him. Ooh, I would have liked to have seen it. I would have wanted Jalen Hurts and Shedeur on the same squad because that's stacking good quarterback talent. But hell, that's better than Cleveland. So I know DTR is thinking his lucky stars. Now, where he should go, common sense says make the wrong right and send him to New Orleans as QB1. But I have no hope and faith in the Saints unless somebody show up and threaten them. Because that's how he got drafted. And they picked him to go to Cleveland. It was not a coincidence. The owner was not looking favorably upon Shedeur. No. They were doing what they were told. They had already been called out. So I put this here so people, we can have some clarity here. So we can all be on the same page that Canada is a reality. Cleveland is not going to do right by Shedeur. Nobody is coming to make him QB1 until after they cut him. And then somebody else going to have to get it. But it's going to have to be for a new contract. Because Shedeur should not be on anybody's team for the next 4 years for $4 million. The wrong needs to be made right. He does not need to be passed around like the person that the NFL gave him a QB comp of, Geno Smith, because that's what they did to Geno Smith. That is not Shedeur Sanders' QB comp. Shedeur Sanders is a mashup of Jaden Daniels, and they know it. They know any team he goes QB1 on, he gonna take them somewhere. And then that sets a trend with these black quarterbacks coming in and starting every year, and they don't want that. They willing to push talent aside for preference. So there's nothing Shedeur could do. This on God. That's who I'm waiting on to see what God gonna do. Not upset if Cleveland cuts Shedeur. I'm not upset if don't nobody claim him off waivers because he gets to get a new contract. And that's what he is owed. And I said he gonna get his money. And for people that want to know why you think he gonna get his money, I got 2 words for you. Deshaun Watson. That's how I know he gonna get his money. Hell, even Colin Kaepernick sued and got paid like he was supposed to, but they blackballed it. That's how Shedeur know that that's not the route to take right now. That's the route to take when you don't ever want to play in the league. He gonna get his money, but it's gonna be after he clear waivers or go to Canada first. And I'm fine with that because he deserves better. Cleveland want to be toxic, let him, but not with our guy. Anybody that refers to themselves as God's child and people still trying to take you down, they evil, bro. They don't want to win. They know they can win with Shedeur. And that tells you they pre-drafted him extensively to set him up. Because they always knew the owner was going to come out and say on or about March 31st. Oh, we still got Deshaun Watson. You can have him next year too. So why are you talking about Lenore Sellers, Arch Manning, Arcade? But it's probably not going to be a problem next year. Especially if it's Arch Manning Arcade. And we know it's not Arch Manning. They like to hear themselves talk. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's Lenore Sellers. And they run the same race and play the same game only to devalue him in the draft. Oh, we still got Deshaun Watson. We could make it work. And then pay a defensive tackle QB money. I don't give a damn what Cleveland do. I give a damn what they do to Shedeur. So let me see what y'all saying. Now that I've explained all the commentary on the screen. Hey everybody. Hey Amber. Welcome back. Welcome back. Echo, what's up, fam? Val C, good evening, good evening. Robert Washington, thank you for joining us. Good evening, good evening. Bumpy, nice to see you back, Robert. Thanks for coming back. Said Cleveland is the graveyard for QB. Yes. God, they don't. They just want to ruin people. I don't even understand how they can be allowed to be so negligent. What they did to Deshaun Kaiser, bro. I would love to interview his parents. I would just love to ask them what were they thinking, week in and week out, as they watch their son be thrown to the wolves and go 0-15. Did you see the documentary about the evolution of black quarterbacks? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It really mirrors what's going on with Shedeur and the other black players. Yeah. And I was so proud to hear Cam Newton say it out loud because he's not too far removed. He's a quarterback, a black quarterback that's not too far removed. Saying that black quarterbacks are biased, but who are they using? They're using the old forgotten quarterbacks who want to remain relevant, who were discriminated against when they were here. War Moon had to go to Canada and gonna come out and say, no, Shador shouldn't go to Canada. The NFL is the right place for him. It wasn't the right place for you, so why the hell is it the right place for him? Herm Edwards. I said it when Coach Prime was in year one at Colorado. Oh, they trying to Herm Edwards Coach Prime, meaning giving away his plays so he could lose to everybody. But they got a little help from some people that had on uniforms too. And we had to watch Shador get hurt. I'm not gonna watch that no more. That was painful. I don't even know how Coach Prime survived that. Seeing Shador get pummeled like that. And then Cleveland want to blame Shador, but then they pre-drafted him extensively. But then suddenly they remembered on draft night that his skill set was retro style and not modern. But then they drafted Jackson Dart, and he the same skill set as Shador. And you're not gonna convince me Jackson Dart is more athletic than Shador. Shador ran for his life and still was the most accurate QB. Cleveland just don't want Shedeur. So I don't need to sit up and listen to the media, Mary Cabot, anybody else, Stefanski, the GM, the owner, or any goddamn body else devalue Shedeur. If you do not want him, let him go. That's what you do. And the NFL can release him too so he can get from under that damn poultry ass $4 million insulting ass contract. He is worth way more money. And they know it. They don't mind devaluing these black players and these black quarterbacks. They showed you what they thought of Travis. And they try to try Travis out and make him the face of the league, but they weren't gonna even fix his damn contract. He had to go fishing with Coach Prime first. It really don't matter. If you a black NFL player, they don't respect you. And they showed you that with Travis. They only used Travis and drafted him in the number 2 spot that Shedeur was supposed to be drafted to and gave Shedeur Travis's jersey number. We want you to be more like him. Now, we all know Travis is lacking a little something. And we praise Coach Prime after that OSU game for the way he raised his sons. But see, that's what they want you to be. Submissive and don't have no damn identity and is wrapped up in another individual. And they want you to have it wrapped up in NFL so when they cut you, you don't know which way is up. No. I'm proud of Jalen Hurts for writing his children's book, getting his master's. That's what they all should do. The NFL is not for long. 4 years. That's what you need to plan on. The length of your first contract. And get the hell out. And if you choose to stay for that second contract for another 5 years, you better make sure you bank and save every goddamn dime after you pay your taxes. Because by the time you leave somewhere where you had to be forced into submission for 8 or 9 or 10 years, you will not know who you are. And that is one of these things that plagues these players when they leave the NFL. This is all I know. That's why they don't want players like Shedeur. Because he know exactly who he is. Kudos to his father, who went on to have a successful life after the NFL. They don't want that. So let him go. Watching what the hell ever Shador play. If he want to go play pickleball for a season, I'm watching that. If he want to start a 7-on-7 team, I'm watching that. And I'm turning the TV off where the NFL is concerned. There's no reason for me to watch anything because everybody else, you just wait to see if they make the squad. Then you gonna have to wait and see if they're gonna get paid because now they sliding in a clause that what voids future guarantees. I'm sick of this shit, bro. Either you gonna get these players guaranteed contracts or you not. It's just being jerked around. And it don't matter who you are. That's what this draft proved. That's what this whole rookies holding out proved. It doesn't matter who you are. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. We gonna do you the same. And so it keeps the NFL from talking about Shedeur. They want to talk about uh, Travis, right? When they play against Kansas City to distract you from the fact that it's 40 rookies who haven't signed their contracts. Cleveland trying to cut Shedeur. It's funny how they think people are stupid. So just because you don't talk about Shedeur, you think we not gonna talk about Shedeur because they want to control the narrative. They're so used to controlling the narrative, but they act like they don't know social media exists. For a reporter in Cleveland, a journalist or a talking head to say that Shedeur is working out on camera to keep up with his fans and how, he guess that's how it goes on social media. What? Then they all pop up on camera because that's what they all do. What do these people do in their free time? Social media did not come out last year. YouTube been out since 2006, 2009. That's not the type of environment somebody who is labeled as cerebral and intellect has high football IQ. That's not an environment for somebody like that. Because they only going to spend every single waking minute around him or using the airwaves to try to dumb him down to their level. No. Cut it. I'm gonna watch whatever he do. If he wanna go out there and start playing football team, I'm gonna be watching and supporting that too. It don't matter what Shedeur does, it's going to turn to gold just like his father. And they know that. They know they can make billions with Shedeur. They don't want that. Because he's a black quarterback. It is too many of them. So yeah, I saw it, Val. See, Robert said, yeah, it is. It's very informative. Amber said Cleveland may do the same thing to whoever they draft in the first round next year. Lenore Sellers, because his name done made their way across their lips, and I'm sure it delights his father, who clearly is not paying attention to anything. They are insecure about about their shortcomings at this point. Their only goal is to draft and destroy. That is it. That is it. It says, please let me know who are who are these clutch QBs running to play for the nobody? Nobody. Cleveland is one of those teams that when they hear they going there, they just gonna try to make the best of it mentally and think that they can put the team on their back. The team don't want to be successful. I don't know how many more quarterbacks got to run through there. It's already been 40. 40 quarterbacks taking snaps as starter in 25 years. And people expecting them to do right by Shedeur. Somebody gonna have to, Jesus, gonna have to come down here and show up in Jesus form, not human form, because they ain't gonna respect that. And say, look here, I need you to do right. Going for, they not gonna do it. It's been too long. They are comfortable the way they are. These people got a new stadium and they are trash. That's why they won't do right. There's no consequences. There's no consequences. Warren Moon has flashbacks. I bet he does. Robert said he got flashbacks. Yeah, cause that's crazy. I'm like, you do know we know why you went to Canada, right? It said that is intentional to draft and destroy. That's it. That's it. Draft and destroy. Cleveland seems to be the team, and I've heard people say that. It's like a receptacle for quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson got intentionally sent to Cleveland after he got his $230 million contract. That's what? Fully guaranteed. They was willing to go to war with other quarterbacks over this and ended up with a collusion case that they trying to spin. We don't even care no more. All that collusion case and that document showed us was what? Oh, the players have no recourse when it comes to the Players Association. So they absolutely, if you in the league, you absolutely have to use arbitration. And you see how that worked. Kyler Murray was part of that arbitration, right? Part of that collusion case. Guess what he got saddled with after they gave him his $230 million contract. Same amount of money, but no guarantees. But guess what they did do to him? They saddled him when he got to study for a few hours every day. It's gonna always be something. Y'all saw what happened to Russ. And you know exactly what happened to Lamar Jackson. They was not giving him MVP. And they still not. It said, let them tell it. Dak is developmental as well and is the highest paid QB. And that's the crazy part, right? So we all know Jerry Jones is looking at Shedeur, right? We know the whole Nebraska the setup where it was horrible, and the next day what? We even looked at the date. He signs that, right? So we see where Shedeur in New Orleans Super Bowl weekend talking to Jerry, and Jerry's, in my opinion, kind of pushing him off and saying, yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot of trading. We're gonna have to do a lot of trading. Y'all know Jerry Jones wanted to get Shedeur. He didn't even get Shedeur for $4 million. Nobody could get Shedeur. Collusion. We already know it was collusion. That just further proves it. Tom Brady, that's his mentor. The NFL refuses to admit that Shedeur is the same quarterback and learned from Tom Brady and has the same skills. They refuse to admit he extends plays like Pat Mahomes. They refuse to admit he is likely going to be just as successful as Jaden Daniels. Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, and Jaden Daniels, and you have him not even on the roster. And you only paying him $4 million. None of it's guaranteed. Let him go. That's an abomination for somebody to be that damn good. But guess what? So is Milrow. Milrow runs a 4.37 since they want to talk about speed. And his QB comps, everybody know he got an arm on him. His QB comps are Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. But the NFL want to bench him for 2 years talking about he's a project. He's not a project. They don't want him to get out there and ball out. They don't want Shedeur to get out there and ball out. They don't even want Cam to get out there and ball out.